Corporate Social Responsibility. Introduction. In an article written by Richard Stengel entitled The Responsibility of Evolution, which zooms in the topic of the rise of ethical consumerism, started by the saying, Americans are calibrating their sense of what it means to be citizen, not just voting in the volunteering, but also through the what they buy. You want to be elucidate by quoting the FDR in the midst of Great Depression. We have always known that in helpless send integrates what moral and known what is bad in economics. According to Stengel, we have learned this all over again after the collapse of the Lehman Brothers, the Zero Stream by Mortgage and the Ponzi Scheme by Bernie Madoff. But even in mid of greatest recession of 2009, people had been trading of their SUVs for pesos by buying record amounts of fair trade and coffee and investing social responsibility foods and higher rates of other before. The growing awareness of the social impact of the products we buy pave way to be rise and ethical in consumerism in sense of ethical responsibilities and have become increasingly important to the company reputation. At a time with public opinion can go viral in the instant, although not really global phenomenon, practiced and followed by the greater majority of customers. It is nonetheless and gaining a wider latitude support, which thanks from the representation and items being purchased and trade in the supermarket to activism and boycotts on products directly harmful to society and environment.
Good day everyone, I'm Erica Ubay and today I will be discussing the example of actual appeal to the public to boycott certain company. Boycott. Boycott is an act of non-violent voluntary and abstention. When we say abstention, it is against from using, buying, or dealing with a person, organization, or country as an expression of protest, usually for moral, social, political, or environmental reasons. When this has been necessitated by Wendy's steadfast refusal to join the Coalition of Immokalee Workers, CIW, Fair Food Program, FFP. The FFP is a groundbreaking social responsibility program that has won recognition from the White House to the United Nations for its unique success in addressing decades-old farm labor abuses. All of Wendy's major competitors in the fast food industry, McDonald's, Burger King, Subway, Taco Bell, and Chipotle, have already joined the Fair Food Program. The problem here is Wendy's steadfast refusal to join the Coalition of the Immokalee Workers or CIW and Fair Food Program ay mo regulate sa mga product. L'Oreal, including Body Shop. L'Oreal's continue use of innovate ingredients tasted on rabbits, mice, and guinea pigs lead to Nature Watch announcing a boycott of L'Oreal in 2000. Since then, the Nature Watch has encouraged the consumers to boycott L'Oreal products and the products of subsidiary companies, which disappointingly includes the Body Shop and more recently Urban Decay. So the problem here in L'Oreal is the soap nga ilang ginabaligya is ginatry nila sa mga hayop before sa mga tao. The Adidas boycott toward the protection of the animal right and indigenous welfare for using a materials for shoes. Adidas is the animal rights pud ni siya kay ginagamit ang kangaroo para lang makabuhat og sapatos or uban pang mga hayop, ilang mga skin. Hermes, PETA calling for boycott to brutally slaughter of reptiles to make and seal a luxury bags and skin belts. Hermes, kini pare-pareho lang po ni sila sa Adidas. Kay ang hayop Japon ang materials nga ilang ginagamit, pero nagboycott sila kay brutal kaayo ang pagpatay sa mga alligator or ubang reptile para lang makabuhat og luxury bags and belts. 'Di ba kay mahal baya kayo ang mga skin sa mga animals like katong mga halas, reptiles, yes, reptiles. Nestle, milk product and baby formula. In 1977, the Infant Formula Action Coalition first called for a Nestle boycott. The boycott spread to Europe and beyond. By 1984, feeling the effects of the long action, Nestle met with boycott organizers and agreed to abide by an international code of marketing for breast milk substitutes drafted by the World Health Assembly. The boycott was lifted. Nestle milk product and baby formula. The boycott here was lifted tungod kay nakita nila nga makatabang ni siya for the breast milk substitute sa mga mama. Nestle chocolate product. Child slave labor, some are trafficked from nearby countries. So, here in Nestle chocolate product, the child labor and the human rights, mao ni ang mga problem ani kay ginapatrabaho nila ang mga bata para less ang ilang production ug dako ang ilang profit, maong naay boycott nga nahitabo. Ngano na boycott sila?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmates. My report is all about the responsibility, the part of the boycott Nestle. The Market Intelligence Agency reveals that 56% of consumers stop buying from companies they believe are unethical. 35% of consumers stop buying from brands they perceive as unethical even if there is no substitute available. 27% stop purchasing even if they think the competitors offers lower quality. Overall, more than 3 in 5 consumers feel that ethical issues are becoming more important. 34% of consumers tells others when they perceive a brand to be making ethical action that are honest, fair, and responsible. 29% of consumers take social media to share report of ethical companies. Because of this growing trend of ethical consumerism, corporations and business have started gearing their steering wheels to at least approximate this expectation. For example, the Dairy Milk, one of the best-selling chocolate bars worldwide. Also, they have invested 75 million in Ghana to boost cacao farmers' income, the Found School. In Uganda, improving health and wealth Avon style. Charlie Slaughter signed up to be an Avon lady. The Yale Business School grad care much about makeup or skin cream. Uganda woman the chance to be business owners with microloans of about 50 US. They buy needed products like soap and malaria medicine and sell them for small profits. Uganda goes beyond empowering new entrepreneurs, pumping up the harvest. Kickstar founders, former aid workers Martin Fisher and Nick Moon were branded as heretics for selling irrigation pumps to poor Africans, brewing up social justice. Starbucks paying above market prices for coffee beans doesn't just improve the lives of small-scale farmers. Starbucks offers full health care coverage to part-time workers too. Since October 27, 2007, employees have completed over 400,000 hours of community service. Thank you.
My name is Jennifer Catalan-Tutugo. I'm the reporter of Corporate Social Responsibility, or CSR. So the broadest definition of corporate social responsibility is concerned with what is or should be the relationship between global corporation, governments, countries, and individual citizens. So the CSR, or the Corporate Social Responsibility, is a gesture of showing the company's concern and commitment towards society. So CSR is about how companies manage the business process to produce an overall positive impact on the society. And then the responsibility of the responsibility towards society is a carrying on business with moral and ethical standards, and also contributing towards the development of social health and education. And then the responsibility towards government is to obey rules and regulations, and cooperating with the government for economic growth and development. And then lastly, the responsibility towards shareholders. So to build their reputation and goodwill of the company, and to remain transparent and accountable. So, in as much as an individual person is no island and is considered responsible for the consequence that his action have towards the bigger community. So to thus corporation in their money-making ventures. It is apparent, therefore, that any action which an organization undertakes will have an effect not just upon itself, but also the external environment within which that organization resides. In considering the effect of the organization upon its external environment, it must be recognized that his environment includes both the business environment in which the firm is operating, the local societal environment in which the organization is located, and the wider global environment. It means kung unsay gibuhat nga action sa isa ka or part sa ang isa ka samahan or part sa organization, nani siya epekto dili lang sa iyang kaugalingon, but also the internal environment within which the organization stay or resides. So this is effect of the organization can take many forms, such as the utilization of natural resources as a part of its production process. The second, the effects of competition between itself and other organizations in the same market. The third is the enrichment of local community through the creation of employment opportunities. For transformation of the landscape due to raw materials extraction or waste product storage. And then the fifth is the distribution of wealth created within the firm to the owners of the firm via the dividends, and the workers of the firms through wage, and the effect of this upon the welfare of individuals. And then the sixth is more recently, the greatest concern has been with climate change and the way in which the emission of greenhouse gases are exacerbating this.
Good morning, sir. In this video, I will going to report my part, the components of corporate social responsibility. According to Archie Carroll, total corporate social responsibilities are based on economic, legal, ethical, and discretionary responsibilities. He argued that these four components are not necessarily mutually exclusive, but rather present a continuum in which corporate social responsibility is examined. First, economic responsibilities are based on the underlying foundation on why a firm has been created, normally to develop economic value. Economic responsibility is an interconnected field that focuses to strike a balance between businesses, environmental, and philanthropic practices. In economic responsibility, abides by the set of standards of ethical and moral regulations. Example of this is when company modifies its manufacturing processes to recycle to include recycled products, which could benefit the company by potentially lowering the cost and also cost of materials, and also by the benefit of society by consuming fewer resources to be used. Second is legal responsibilities, are the laws and regulations that all firms are expected to abide by as they perform their daily functions. Legal responsibility means specific duties imposed upon a person to care or provide for another, including liability for personal obligations and as granted through a power of attorney or court of order. It may held solely and it or may be divided or shared. Example, it's a business duty to pay taxes to the government and help its account looks clean as it helps government to track the economic state of the company. Third is the ethical responsibilities. Are difficult to define and can change over time because they are based on the expectations of society. As society changes over time, its expectation of what is considered ethical by firms also changes. Ethical responsibility is about looking for the welfare of the employees by ensuring fair labor practices. It means that there will be no gender, race, and religious discriminations among employees, and each employees will be given equal pay for the equal work and better living wage compensation. And for the fourth is the discretionary responsibilities, are those responsibilities in which society does not have clear message to represent to business what their courses of actions should be. These responsibilities are left in the hands of the manager to exercise the proper judgment. Example of discretionary responsibilities is firms having giving charity organizations, providing programs to help people who are drug dependent, and providing daycare centers to help families cope in a work environment. And for those companies who does not practice to and engage in this kind of charity organizations are would not be considered unethical. We live in a globalized world where advanced technologies have made our social networking easier than ever. In today's world, there is no place for selfishness and greed. In order to achieve long-term sustainability and success, we have to work mutually and look after each other's needs. And in this process, we will eventually benefit ourselves. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So this is my report is all about the role of corporate philanthropy. If we talk about philanthropy, it is the desire to promote the welfare of others, expressed especially by generous donation of money and good causes. For example, Juan is giving money to the charity and volunteering. So corporate philanthropy is the act of the corporation.
So this is my report, the 4 responsibilities of CSR, or the corporate social responsibility. Carroll's CSR of Pyramid. So what is CSR? Carroll's CSR of Pyramid is a framework that explains how and why organizations should take responsibility. The pyramid was developed by Archie Carroll and highlights the 4 most important types of responsibility and organization. So CSR has been around since the 1950s. Its importance and practice took hold much later. The basis of what we consider to be the modern definition of CSR is rooted in Archie Carroll's pyramid of CSR. So in this pyramid, a corporation has 4 types of responsibilities. So the first and the most obvious is the economic responsibility to be profitable. It also initiatives to involve improving the firm's business operation while participating in sustainable practice. Just like, for instance, using a new manufacturing process to minimize wastage. So it is also a self-enforce that a company puts in place because they believe that it is the morally correct thing to do rather than out of any obligation. So the second one is the legal responsibility to obey the laws set forth by the society. But this responsibility is not only reliable to the individuals in the society, but also to the business in the society. So these rules and regulations are set for maintaining balance and the greater good of the society. So the third one is the ethical responsibility. It is the thing to do on what is right even when business is not compelled or forced to do so by law. So ethical responsibility also programs focus on ensuring that all stakeholders in a business receive fair treatment from employees to customers. It is also considers every level of the supply chain, including employees who may not be directly working for the business. And the fourth one is the philanthropic responsibility, also called the discretionary responsibility. It is described by the resources contributed by corporations towards social, educational, recreational, and or cultural purposes. It is also involves donating funds, goods, or service to another organizations or cause. So yeah, thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Marvijoy Maganyan. This is my report. Companies willing to give up their known biggest asset in exchange of good reputation or the ethical corporate image must recently Maria and Sharapova, Manny Pacquiao, stalwarts in their respective sport, were dropped by their major sponsor because of the alleged usage of banned substance. Sharapova and derogatory remarks against the gay couples by Manny Pacquiao. So, si Sharapova was born in Russia but has lived in the United States since 1994. Pacquiao and Sharapova are not the only athletes who have been on bad terms with Nike. Here is the list of athletes who have signed the deals with Nike only to see them then nullified with the controversy struck. Among the others athletes who have been seeing deals with Nike come and go on the controversial terms are track and field athletes Marion Jones, Oscar Pistorius, and Justin Gatlin, NFL players Michael Vick, Adrian Peterson, and Ray Rice, football players and Joey Burton, plus cyclist Lance Armstrong.
Today I'm going to discuss three major benefits for the strategic focus of the firm. Strategic focus, ang organization to aim and clear about its mission and vision and has a coherent, maayon na strategy para sa firm. Benefit number 1. Stakeholders prefer to do business with firms that have a positive corporate reputation. Ang corporate reputation, sunod ani ang internal o external stakeholders sa past action and probability of its future behavior. When a customer is unfamiliar with attributes of one product versus another, the reputation of the firm is considered if the firm has a positive reputation. This could determine which item the customer will purchase. In addition, if the customer has already bought a different product from the firm, the customer will be more likely to purchase the additional product from the same firm because of its corporate reputation. Ang good of reputation ang company maka-attract sila og daghan na customers and vendors na mo salig og loyal sa ilang business. Kung palit ang customer niya, dili siya sure sa kalidad sa paliton nila, dito sila mopalit sa company na naay good reputation og dungog na kalidad ang product sa gibaligya. Benefit number 2, it can greatly aid a company during a crisis. Benefit number 3, it can increase the financial performance of the firm because the firm's superior competitive advantage. Ang competitive advantage mao ning attribute na naa sa company nga mahimong advantage na malamangan nila ang ilang competitors. That's all.
So this is the continuation of the previous reporter. My topic or my task is all about environmental sustainability. So environmental sustainability, as pointed out above, one of the basic principles of corporate social responsibility is sustainability. And while all of the issues normally associated with CSR are all important, environmental concerns seem to be of more urgency, with climate change being felt at its worst almost everywhere. The demand to undertake immediate steps to at least slow down its pacing is growing louder and shriller. So environmental sustainability is very important, and we need to take care of it. Now, next is we have in Joe Desjardins' corporate environmental responsibility. No, he explained why environmental sustainability is of utmost importance, especially in today's generation. No, first. So next, this is the corporate environmental responsibility of Joe Desjardins. So first, a significant percentage of the world population live at below a minimal level of subsistence. No, it means that 1/4 of the world's population live in industrialized countries, and they consume 80% of the world's goods, not to meet just the simple needs and minimum demands of the other 75% of the world's population. And significant economic activity is necessary over the next few decades. Now, one estimate holds that a 5-fold increase in energy use to be required over the next 50 years to bring the standards and of living for the present population of developing continues into line with that of people in industrial world. So, in simple terms, environmental sustainability involves making decision and taking action in the interest of protecting the natural world, with particular emphasis on preserving the capability of environment to support human life. So, that's it. And of course, business and entrepreneurs are expected to lead this area of environmental sustainability, not only because they have the necessary tools to effect such advocacy, no, because they are very crucial po that the business will affect, especially sa mga factories, no. So they are.
Good evening, sir. I'm Rabelin Joy Robles, and this is my report about business case for environmental sustainability. So, these the points nga makasupport jud sa business case nga makapalambo sa business. First, we have moving forward. So, kini siya is environmentally sustainable practices present or nourish to business operation. So, para makabuhat og sakto nga desisyon para mapalambo ang business ug makontrol o ma-regulate ang mga issue, o ikaw ang una sa imong mga competitor, so mo ni siya. Then ikaduha is a potential to reduce your expenses in the medium to long term. So para makontrol nimo imong mga kwarta o mapalakaw sa sakto nga magastuhan. So para sa long run makasaving ka og dili basta-basta maapektuhan imong business kung maghinay man ang kita, no. So, ikatulo is also have a competitive edge when it comes to attracting customer and investors. So, dapat na kay secret recipe o mga technique nimo nga para ma-attract ang customer o like example barbecuehan dapat mas lami imo mga abot kaya dapat ka nang makaya po siya sa presyo para balik-balikan sa mga tao. So, ikaw pat is, it does not negatively impact in a business ability to generate a profit. So, kini, wala problem sa mga competitor o gang panglantaw nimo sa ila kay opportunity para mo enhance pang imong ginabaligya o business. Kay sure man ka nga naa kay loyal customer. So, kana. So, business differentiation. So, kini is kalahian o technique para sa imong business nga para mo unique o wala sa ilaha. Basta ang imong secret para malahi ka sa ilaha. Dapat na kay mga unique na mga mindset. So, if a number of business including yours is selling the same product or offering the same service, so dapat kamao ka kung unsa ang dapat buhaton ug kung dili effective kamao ka kung unsa ang kailangan i-enhance para makakompete ka sa business. Like barbecue nga mo gaya ang silingan kung patok maong dapat lami jud ang lasa sa imong barbecue sa una pa lang ug kung naa man i-improve para ma-perfect ug dili mawad-an og customer. So pacifying the uproar by trying to adapt environment change policies will differentiate one's business from that of the other. So ayaw ka tingala kung daghan mo copy sa imong business. Padayon lang og mangita paglain paraan para mapalago ang business. Like Crayola that gone from simply being corporate mogul in coloring materials into company wanting to lead the charge towards a greener future. So, kini is pareho ani nga dili sila nag-stop as partnership, no? Partnership lang sa Mojo, pero nagbuhat jud sila sa ilang own company kay nakita man nila ang opportunity sa ilang business. So kana social and environmental responsibility. Dapat ka mao ka sa imong environment nga makabuhat kag business ug makatabang ka sa laing tao. Dapat andam ka sa mga responsibilidad sa negative man o positive feedback sa community kay sila ang una nga mo gamit sa product like Crayola. So, it is being a good citizen in the communities and countries where we operate and our product are found. So, as a part sa environment, dapat makiisa ka o makioperate ka para tangkilin sa community ang product nga ibaligya nimo. Like Crayola nga makipag-communicate jud sila maong nilaguin ilahang company ug nitaas ilahang demand.
Good morning, sir. This is Sheila Mahinayan, and this is my part of the report. Turning trash cans into piggy banks. So far, Recycle Bank has enlisted more than 1 million people in 20 states in the US to help save the planet by padding their wallets. That's our value proposition. We're going to make it financially attractive to recycle, says Ron Gonin, who co-founded the for-profit company in 2004 while enrolled at the Columbia Business School. So, turning trash cans into piggy banks. So sa gawas, instead nga ang ilahang businesses or ilahang mga recycle cans, ilang ipanglabay. So, they have their innovative ideas or they have their ideas nga kanang what if ila na lang himuon og mga alkansiya, ilahan na lang designan, right? Di ba? Ilan na lang gikuanan. So, makatabang pa sila sa environment. No, sumo na ilang gihimo para yes, trash can sila, but the designs nga ilahang the innovative ideas nga ilahang nahimo is mas nahimo nun siyang attractive. So, grabe ba? Kana bang ang ideas nga ilahang nahimo, no? So, having a business, di ba? So, as a business, kung maghimo ka og business, dapat naayod kay mga innovative ideas. Diba? So, nindot kay ning ideas ang mga recycle trash cans,
gihimo na lang nila og alkansiya or unsa pa man, ila na hinuong gihimuan og mga nindot kay nga mga strategies or mga designs. Next is the selling solar on the chip. It's a playful names for a serious company. Delight Designs sells $10 to 525 solar-powered lamps in more than a dozen countries where people lack electricity and often spend a lot on kerosene. Okay, so selling solar on the chip. So ang solar, di ba, most of all karon gagamit man gyud og electricity. Naman gyud mga electricity gyud, but how about to those customers or to those people nga wala electricity? Di ba? So, unless kung kwartahan, so makapalit gid sila og solar. But, kani, ngaya time, luoy ka itong mga customers or mga tao nga wala electricity. So, mas maayo nga, mas makatawan ko sila sa mga tao or sa mga customers, right? Then, mas maayo nga ibaligya nila ang solar o barato-barato gamay, no? Especially sa katong mga tao nga wala gyud mga electricity. So just like pud sa amua, kami so wala man may kuryente, so si Papa nagpwede siya og solar. So mangita magimig barato-barato ra kus para maka-reduce pud og kanang cost kay bali. So makatabang pud siya, mo maka-charge pud mi sa kanang cellphone namo, maka-charge pud mi sa among batteries. Then green is good for businesses. Green is good for business. GE views its sustainability effort as a money maker. Green is green, says Senior Vice President Beth Comstock. Launched in 2005, GS Ecomagination. So, dinan sa ako ni basahon tanan. Okay, so green is good for business, di ba? Green is having practices that can protect the environment. Okay, so green is good for business. Why? Nganong green man is good for business? Because it can compete. Having a green practices can competitive advantage will be your competitive advantage. Why? Because advantage of going green can be felt immediately, because if you will see your business gaining more advantage over your competitors. So it brings in new customers and opens opportunities for you to tap into new markets. And also it gives your business a different perspective, which means customers, suppliers, and other stakeholders will begin to take interest in the new concept of your business. And also it will help you gain the trust of customers as well as guarantee their loyalty. And also it can reduce cost. Having a green practices or observing the green practices is also another effective way to save cost in the company. The amount of energy of the company uses is reduced when they go green, which means that waste is reduced and companies get and improve a supply chain management system. And it can also allows the business to adapt new technologies to increase productivity. With cost reduced, it would allow the business to grow and remain sustainable. So, importante kaayo. And then, protecting the ecosystem. Having a green practices can protect the ecosystem, because businesses that adopt the green way of operation are usually concerned about observing corporate social responsibility. And then, these businesses are always putting into consideration ways to reduce the risk of harming the environment and how they can save the planet from global warming as well as others. Then the Ayala Group of companies. Okay, the Ayala Group of companies Okay, so the Ayala Group of Companies, they are a leader in corporate social responsibility. The Ayala, which is the president of this corporation, of the company, he is a leader in corporate social responsibility. The Ayala companies has a social commitment arm. No, they have the foundation, the Ayala Foundation, which is that programs focusing on education, youth leadership, sustainable livelihood, and arts and culture. And then the Ayala Corporation, in times of disaster rehabilitation, they provide support to communities that experience natural calamities. And they also provide leadership. They really educate the people to have a concern of the environment. This includes environmental parameters in accrediting suppliers and enabling communities, as well as providing opportunities for entrepreneurs, considering lower environmental impact during product development, and among others. The Ayala Group of Companies are really observing and concerned about the environment. Diba? The Ayala Group of Companies, they have a water corporation in Manila. Okay, so the Ayala Group of Companies, so the Ayala Corporation na sila ginabot na sila water corporation sa Manila. Di ba? Manila is also kanang galisod pud og tubig dito. So ganing naingon pa ni sila, the Ayala Corporation, naingon sila nga ganing dili daw sila, wala daw sila ganaon sa gasto, but ganaon na sila of how they can help and how they can give a source sa mga tao. So the Ayala Group of Companies are one of the corporation that support the standards on environment and social responsibility. So water management. So the malls are equipped with a sewage treatment plant to recycle water. So treated water is reused for cooling towers, comfort room, flushing, irrigation, and groundskeeping. The treatment plant features essential batch reactors that reduce power consumption in processing of waste water treatment. So kasagaran malls na ayon na sila mga water management. So especially sa mga malls, so dili gid na pwede nga dili sila mag-provide og water. It's because ang mga customers is syempre mag-CR man gyud, mangihi. So having a business, especially sa mga malls, no, so dapat gina-manage gyud nila ang water kay dili pwede nga manimaho sila didto and then ang mga customers, diba, makadaot pud siya, napud siya effect sa mga customers or sa business nimo. It's because ang mga customers is dili sila kuan. So importante kaayo nga ma-manage ang naagi water management ang isa ka building or isa ka business. And then the air quality management. So SM malls have implemented a no smoking campaign to reduce pollution and improve air quality within the mall for both customers and employees. There are designated isolated smoking areas to cater to smoking patrons. Okay, so ang SM malls is isa pud siya ka company nga nag-advocates og environmental protection. So ang SM mall is nag-implement gyud na sila og no smoking campaign. So no smoking campaign yun para ma-reduce ang pollution and ma-improve gyud ang air quality. No, so dapat ang mga malls dapat naagid na sila. So example sa mga malls is ang SM mall, di ba, go implement sila og no smoking areas. Kung dapat dili gyud na smoking areas pero dili gyud siya public. So naagid dapat provide sila og areas or isolated area nga dito lang pwede maka-smokes ang mga customers or ang mga employees. So and all transport operators are required to submit certificates of emission test or all units plying the malls. Bicycle parking slots are available in the parking lots, promoting the use of bicycles to reduce vehicle emission. So sa mga malls, di ba, kasi maragtanan man gyud guro mall, so dapat naagi mga parking lots, no, naagi na sila parkinganan kaya ang mga customer namin gyud mga sakyanan, so especially sa mga highways, no, so dapat naagi gyud na yung mga parkinganan dito kay para dili pod magkakuan ang mga sakyanan, dili pod magkagubot dito and then dili pod magkadasmag, so dapat ginamonitor gyud pod na nila. No, so dapat kay naagid na yung mga kuan gid pod sila dito naagid na sila yung mga kuan para ma-prevent ang vehicle emissions. And that could be all. Thank you.